Hey, Anthony Ogogo here, and I've just now finished editing this video with one of my former clients, Nick. Now, Nick came to me, I've got my notes here. Nick came to me at 100 kilograms, which is 220 pounds, 16 stone, 1 year ago. In 6 months working with us, he lost 18 kilograms, 40 pounds, over 3 stone. Now, that was 6 months ago. He finished 6 months ago. In the last 6 months on his own, he's lost another 5 kilograms without even trying. It's the habits that he's adopted. 5 kilograms, 11 pounds. So in 1 year, he's gone from 100 kilograms down to 77 kilograms, lost 23 kg, which is 50 pounds and over 3.5 stone. Now, that's amazing, right? And like I said, in the last 6 months, he's done it all himself. We taught him everything about losing weight and keeping it off in just the 6 months, and now he's adopted it himself. I say this all the time. There's a thing about the thing. Now, the thing is normally the weight. People want to lose weight. That is the thing. It's always the thing about the thing. What does that weight represent? What does it mean to you? Now, with Nick's situation, you'll hear him talking about this in this fantastic little chat we had. Nick had crippling anxiety, truly crippling, the worst panic attacks. He went through a place where he could not go a day without thinking about panic attacks, right? Has not had one in the last 2 years. Doesn't even think about the anxiety or the panic or the worry anymore. He's truly transformed his life. This is fantastic chat. Nick works in education. He's a family man. He has a wife. He has 2 kids. He's just changed his whole life around. So check out this video, and this could be you in just 6 months. Check it out. Enjoy it. Remember, this could be you. Nick, how's it going, mate? How you doing?
Yeah, really good. Cheers. But yourself?
Good. You truly look like a different person to the person I spoke to a year ago.
Thank you very much for that.
A year ago, what were you weighing? What were you feeling like? What was life like for you a year ago?
100 kilograms, which is a lot more than I am now. I'm really quite tired, quite exhausted. Suffer quite a lot with panic attacks, anxiety, a mixture of just feeling really run down and really naff. To be honest, I was playing football, I was going to the gym. Diet was all over the place though, and just no real routine. Generally not in a good place, mentally and physically. So yeah, something had to change, something had to give.
And boy, did it. And boy, did it. So you joined us 100 kilograms. So for my North American friend, it's 220 pounds, almost 16 stone when you joined us, right? In 6 months, you left at 82 kilograms, which is just less than 13 stone. You've lost 3 stone, basically, 6 months ago. And you left 6 months ago, and you still adapted the habits, and you're now down to 77 kilograms.
Yeah, so I'm just maintaining and staying healthy, yeah. And whatever I lose is just from my natural lifestyle now. It's not from the habits that I've built in. It's not from doing anything special. It's just the way I am now, really. And the way I eat, the way I trade.
And that's what I sort of about. When you've come in, learned it 6 months, buggered off, and they're still doing it. And that's what I love, because you're just a perfect person to work with. You've sent me numerous pictures over the last year, still do now to this day.
Yes.
Remember the Man United t-shirt you can now get in. Remember the t-shirt you can.
It's too big now.
It's too big for you now.
Yeah, it's too big now. It's now one I wear at night time or when I'm in the house. Yeah, not one for outdoors anymore.
See,
yeah,
that's quality, mate. Talk to me about, you mentioned about the problem of anxiety and physically and mentally you weren't in a great place. Where are you now physically?
That's improvement in terms of sort of mental health. It's been sort of 2 years since I had like a huge panic attack, but probably the last sort of 6 or 7 months where I don't think about it. I learned to control panic attacks, anxiety. I was actually still there. It was just I was really good at sort of controlling it or masking it as such. Where now there's none of that whatsoever. I was trying to find that there's cheese on it. I was trying to find the old you, but I think I found someone completely different. But I like that guy a little bit better anyway. So I don't think about it anymore. It's not a thing. Where anxiety and panic attacks used to be the forefront of my mind. If I was going on a car journey or going away, it's what I would think about. But now it doesn't come on. It's not even a thought in my process or my mind at the moment.
I'm so proud of you, mate. Somebody watching this, I'm like, oh yeah, how does losing a little bit of weight, how does it get a bit stronger, Jim? How does that impact? How is that going to improve your mental health and your anxiety? Tell us, man, in your experience in the last year.
Nothing like a structure of exercise. I think it gives you that discipline. It makes you. I think exercise always makes you feel better anyway. The endorphins and that exercising makes you feel better. But when actually it's sort of you see yourself losing a bit of weight, your clothes fit a little bit better. you have to buy some more clothes, and you see the results on the scale. And it's sort of those small wins that you get day after day that add up. You don't get them immediately. It takes time, it takes a lot of effort. But then all of a sudden you start seeing the wins, and people come up to you and go, "You look great," or "You've lost loads of weight," or "You're looking really good," or I post loads on Strava. I'm one of them people, and people go, "You're getting really quick at running now," or "You're running all the time now." And it's sort of them wins, and you keep getting them, and you keep getting them, and you keep getting them. But generally, it's just the way you're feeling yourself, and sort of having more energy to do stuff with the kids and go out everywhere. More energy when I'm around the house, more energy when I'm playing football and doing the stuff I love. So generally, it's sort of that you from starting up, you get those small wins, and it keeps building and building and building and building. And then before you know it, it just becomes a habit. It just becomes that's who you are now, and it's part of your personality. So I really got into it.
No, you did. And honestly, listen, the proof is in the pudding. And it's so rewarding for me to hear you've got to a place now where you don't think about stuff like that, because it can be paralyzing. What happened for you to lose so much weight? Was it nutrition? Was it the understanding nutrition? Was it the structure and routine?
I think the nutrition was the biggest thing for me. To be fair, I was exercising okay, struggling with the exercise. I was getting loads of injuries and loads of aches, but because my body wasn't fit enough to do what I wanted it to do, and I just started thinking about my nutrition more, thinking about I'm not very good in terms of applications and recording stuff down, but I started to do it a little bit. Then I started reading more about it and then looking at what I was putting into my body. And just like a flapjack, I realized was like 500 calories. And it lasts about 30 seconds to a minute. And I'm thinking, well, that's a huge. So I just started learning about food and what works. I used the scales for the first time in so many years. I bought a pair of scales, and I used to weigh myself regularly as well. And I could see the impact in terms of if I had beers or if I had a certain meal, I could see what was working, what wasn't working for me. And I like Garmin watch as well. I'm really useful in terms of like if I had like a weekend on the beers, like every single stat on there would change, and you could just sort of see like what you were saying, and then trying to link. And actually, your watch is telling you as well, and the scales are telling you. So we sort of all started to link together, thinking, well, this does actually work. That was the main thing.
It didn't happen instantaneously. No, it took you a while to kind of start seeing things. When we start seeing things, it started really going.
Yeah.
So everybody's journey is very different. And one of the things that you were doing, if I remember correctly, you obviously run, you have those sugary gels.
Yeah.
Right. And because you had them so often and so on, you forgot to track them. You just forgot, right? And it wasn't until you started tracking them, you're like, oh my goodness, these things are full of sugar and full of calories.
Yeah.
And that was the main reason. I think I said to you, I think I worked out, and the numbers might be a bit different. It's but maybe 10 weeks into the program working together, and I calculated how many sugary gels you'd had without realizing. And the gels alone, if you hadn't had them, that's something like 7 pounds lighter in 10 weeks, something really crazy like that.
I think I did a half marathon when I hadn't been very well, actually. It's nearly a year, 6-7 months ago. And I realized the gels I'd had to get me through the half marathon were actually more than calories I burned during the half marathon.
Really?
Yeah. And then it took like 3 or 4 of the carb loaded ones for it to be done. Yeah. So now I don't use gels, fuel purely through water, electrolytes.
And that's the education. People see a packet and they'll say high protein, or there'll be some leafy stuff on the package. And you think, oh, I'll buy into it. That's healthy.
Yeah.
And they eat it for years. Then not until you actually stop and go, let me just scan. Let me add it to the app and see what's in it. Then you realize actually it's really not healthy. It's really not healthy at all.
In the packaging of it, isn't it?
What did you feel like you benefited most from the program? Working with
us? The first stage is that accountability, isn't it? And I think that wake up call, you kind of deny, don't you, that you're unfit, you're getting old, you're overweight. You kind of put, I don't know, any excuse in the way. And it was kind of that accountability when you actually, no, I'm not eating right. Yeah, I'm not training as well as I could be training. And then the two working together, it's not going well for me. And you kind of have that accountability. I started making the small changes, as you know, and trying to gradually get with the program and adapt to it, because a huge sort of lifestyle change. For me, it was that accountability of having you on me every week, saying, what are you doing? How are you up to? And having that person who's actually there. And it makes you think, actually, I need to get in the gym, or I need to go for a run, or I need to eat right. And that accountability, I think, is absolutely huge. And that was the main thing for me that kick-started it off, was that accountability. And probably the honesty as well, to say, look, you need to get into shape, you need to get things going again. So it's kind of that honesty and accountability and support that comes with it, and learning, the learning side of it.
And you are a family man.
Yes.
Very lovely family. How much of this was for you, and how much of this was for your family?
I think it started off all for my family, if I'm honest. I think I wanted to do it to be a better dad, better partner. Because I never struggling with anxiety and panic attacks over the years. I felt like I wasn't any of that at one point. And then I think it quickly realised it was all for me, really, when it comes to the end of it, because of the way I felt afterwards on and still do now. But then that's made me a better dad, better everything as a result, better person at work as a result. But I probably didn't realise I was doing it for me until I got so long into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I thought actually because you always said about the reason, didn't you? There'll be a reason behind the reason, if that makes sense, in terms of what you do. And I was sort of saying, oh, it's for daughter, it's for whatever. But actually, when I got into it, I realised it was so I wanted to feel better again, and as a result of that, everything else worked well.
Crazy, mate. Done so well. How has that made you a better partner, a better father?
One, I'm happier. So fair, I'm happier. I wake up in the morning, I've got energy. I'm happier. I feel better about myself. My clothes fit better. Although I wasn't happy having to replace them 2 or 3 times on the journey. That's cost me a fortune. But yeah, generally, I feel when I go out of the house, I feel great. If I go do something like this weekend, I was away with my friends. I really, really enjoyed it. I was straight back on it on Monday, but I made this that weekend. It was with my friend, and I felt good. When I was out with my friends, I felt like, yeah, I feel I had some energy. I could do whatever, and yeah, it was really nice. So, yeah, I just feel great as a result, really.
And that's the thing with you as well. It's like you haven't lived like a monk. You haven't not had the odd beer, not had the odd chocolate. You've enjoyed yourself. You've just enjoyed it around a planned structure.
Yeah.
That's enabled you to get the result you wanted to get. Hesitations on the call. Remember we had a chat. You were in the car. You're like, oh yeah, let me, yeah, I'll do it, but let me have a little think about it. And you went away. You had a thought about it, and we joined.
Yep.
What did you think about? What was the slight hesitation? And what made you push through in the end and do it anyway?
I think the main hesitation for me, I've always said, if I'm going to do something, I'll do it. Don't half-ass it, as I used to always quote. I think it was that, have I got the time, have I got the commitment to do it? And then I think you said something, well, where will you be this time next year? And I think I said the same. And actually you said, no, you'll be worse because you'll have just kept on doing the same bad habits. And I think it was that. I thought, I'm unhappy now. I feel like if I'm worse this time next year. So it was that sort of, let's just do it and let's just throw ourselves at it.
Anyone watching this on the fence saying, do I join, do I not join? Either way, being on the fence and not a place of life. Either do the thing or don't do the thing, make a decision and move forward and be happy with that decision.
Yep.
What can you say to them to make them make a decision one way or another?
I'd say look at your reasons for why you're doing it and what do you want as a result. Think of where do you see yourself in 6 months, 12 months time. Will the program help you with that? Are you looking to get better physically and mentally, which most people are? And also, if you're going to do it, do it. If you're going to do it, literally just throw yourself at it and apply yourself as best as you can. And there will be times where it gets hard. There will be times where, I don't know, the diet's quite hard when you're at a party or you're at an event or something's going on or the training's hard because it's cold and it's wet or whatever it is. But once you see them little wins, they become a massive win at the end of it. So just if you're going to do it, put everything to it, and then I find it over 6 months you build habits, and I think it's after those 6 months what you can difficult in the first 2 or 3 months that are no longer difficult is just part of your lifestyle and part of who you are. So you don't just change for 6 months. It's not like a quick fix. It's sort of applying what you know, and then you just build them habits and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. Like I said, I've lost 4 or 5 kilograms since the program's ended. I haven't changed anything. I've just continued doing my life the way I have been doing.
And you're way happier now for doing it. Your life is better.
Yeah, I do it because I like it. Like I said, I was away this weekend. A few Guinnesses with the lads in London. Monday, dropped the daughter off at a drama class, and I ran 15K. Last year I was doing a drama class, and that's just part of my habit. I do that. I run on an evening. I didn't start off running 15K, by the way. I started off struggling to run a couple, so that's just from developing.
Mate, exactly. You started off 100 kilograms, body aching, hips, knees, back sore, unable to do a mile because of how you felt. Fast forward a year, life changed. 15 kilometers.
A steady run, 15K after work.
Just because it's a Monday, and that's what you do on a Monday. Thank you so much, mate. You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for your time today, and been a wonderful person to work with. The door's always open for anyone to come back, and I'll speak to you very soon, mate. Okay.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Awesome.
See you later, mate.